The Winnipeg Jets finally learn how to score against the Minnesota Wild. The game busts wide open for a 6-3 Jets victory, and the Jets' up and down streak continues. Win one, lose one, and Minnesota drops a key one to Winnipeg as they race the Colorado Avalanche for first place. What are the main stories of this game? Let's talk all about Mark Schiefele, Blake Wheeler, Cole Perfetti, and the Minnesota Wild right now. Mark Schiefele has 4 points tonight, a natural hat trick, and 11 points in his last 5 games. Let me say that again. 11 points in his last 5 games since the All-Star break. Something has kicked back in for number 55. Stay tuned to the end of the video. We're going to talk about him, Wheeler, and why all of a sudden the Jets offense starting to find some legs. Blake Wheeler with a 4-point night, 4 big apples. That's what we expect from Blake Wheeler. That actually makes it a 23 points in the last 16 games for the captain. Now, when you take a look at Wheeler and Schiefele and their point totals, though, as good as this game was, a big story that we're going to visit close to the end of the video is the fact that it is a little bit streaky. They're coming in bunches. They're coming in groups of 3, 4, 5, 2, 1, and then there's dry spells of 0, which have contributed to the Jets' inability to string wins together. But tonight, they come out flying and score. And finally, the third start of the game, Cole Perfetti ends up with 1 goal, 1 assist. And what Perfetti is able to do at speed is just incredible. He is able to redirect a beautiful shot in from Nate Schmidt tonight. But the pass that he made to Kyle Connor today was absolutely something special. We'll go ahead and we'll bring it up on the board here. And the first thing you're going to see is look how fast Kyle Connor leaves the zone. He realizes really quickly that he needs to slash through the zone. He does. Cole Perfetti picks up that puck, feeds him beautifully. Kyle Connor's made his 3 or 4 hard strides through the middle. He's looking back at Cole Perfetti, but the key to look at here, again, this is a 19-year-old, 20-year-old kid who picks up the puck with speed, shoulder checks over both shoulders to make sure that he has room, and he's playing with his head up. This is extreme confidence from the young player to be able to play with your head up at this level and notice that Connor is gone. Perfetti obviously makes the beautiful breakout pass from the blue line there. Kyle Connor, no doubt, puts it through the 5-hole and the goal goes in. But you have to watch Perfetti time and time again. This kid is an absolute superstar because of what he can do with his head up, with the puck on his stick, with speed. Guys like Cole Perfetti, even though they're a $160 soaking wet with rocks in their pocket, that's 160 pounds for all you Canadian and European people measuring in kilograms. Who does that? I'm Canadian. We still measure in pounds. The young, non-filled out player, it's very unlikely to get clipped by a big hit or physicality in this game when you're able to play with your head up like that. It's very hard to hit a player who can play not only at speed, but knows where everybody is on the ice, and that is one of the best assets to Cole Perfetti. Not only is he high skilled, but he's high skilled with speed, and he's high skilled with his head up, and he's high skilled and able to use his hockey IQ in combination of his skill to avoid getting checked and make beautiful plays. He has all the hallmarks to become one of the NHL's premier playmakers, and he is this young. I'm telling you, he's going to be one of the best in the National Hockey League, not just on the Jets. This kid has 100-point potential, with 90 of those points likely being assists. But hey, it worked for Jumbo Joe. It can work for Goal Perfetti. Or is that no goal apple Perfetti? I don't know. I'll work on it. The other big storyline for this game is Connor Hellebuyck playing the puck. Connor Hellebuyck and goaltenders need to play the puck. This is a strategy in hockey that has to happen, but I see why people would be getting frustrated. 4 turnovers possible tonight for Connor Hellebuyck playing the puck. They all could have gone in the net. Like, they were just, if they weren't a turnover, they were close. You could hear it in the crowd. They were, well, let's say applauding Connor Hellebuyck and letting him know how they feel when he's successfully able to play that puck properly, which is a little bit rare these days. They say Connor should stay in his crease. At this point, you start to tend to agree, but it is so ingrained in the breakouts and in the systems for teams. I just don't think it's possible. You need your goalie playing the puck. He's just got to be better at playing the puck. He's got to start getting some confidence at playing the puck, or he's got to do simple things. And instead of playing the puck, just smother it or eat it. Like, make the pass, leave it for the defenseman. Oh man, it is tough sledding right now for Connor Hellebuyck when it comes to playing the puck, but he gets away with it in this one here. The Minnesota Wild outshot the Winnipeg Jets, and another big storyline to this is the Jets' dreaded second period finally gets put to bed. Like, I've been saying it forever. It feels like I've been watching for 3 years the worst second period in hockey. The Jets not only win the second period 2-1. The Jets outshoot the Wild in the second period. This has not happened to Winnipeg in a very long time. And we all know the keys to Winnipeg are scoring goals. For those people that want to say, hey, Winnipeg, maybe they're not that good of a team, you can kind of buy into that at this point. But when you take a look at the advanced analytics and the expected goals for Winnipeg, Winnipeg is behind by 30 goals. Just before this game, Winnipeg's expected goals for pace this season was 158.8 goals, but they're actually on pace for 126 goals right now. That is, well, that's not where you want to be. That's 22 goals behind. And that's really the story of the Winnipeg Jets. It's not the goals going in, it's the goals not going in the net that has held Winnipeg back and kept them down below in the standings. The Minnesota Wild, on the other hand, have the opposite problem of the Winnipeg Jets, and that is they were only expected at this point in the season to have 137 goals for. So yes, the advanced stats say Winnipeg should have been putting the puck in the net way more frequently than Minnesota, but Minnesota has put it in at a pace of 163. So what does this mean? It means we're living in the bizarro world. Winnipeg can only beat Minnesota, it seems. Minnesota has trouble against Winnipeg, but Minnesota rolls over the rest of the league and scores at a clip that is top 3 in the NHL. What it's saying, though, and Wild fans, you may not like this, what it's saying is this may not hold up. And things that usually do regress back to the middle. Advanced analytics are very good. Look, you can get hot in the playoffs and win and break analytics. But if you're hot right now and this much hotter than what the advanced stats say you should, theoretically at some point, this should start evening out. So if Minnesota starts evening out in the goal department, it's hard to see them slowing down. I mean, they had trouble against Winnipeg. They went ahead and put up 7 the night before. I mean, these guys are scoring machines right now. But if Minnesota comes back down to what was expected of them before this season starts, then there could be a little bit of trouble for Minnesota on the horizon. Winnipeg is starting to pick up their goal scoring clips, but the problem for Winnipeg is it's happening every second game, and Winnipeg needs to put game after game after game back together. So even though everything does normally revert back to the middle, the Jets, you lose to Chicago, you beat Minnesota. So we're all going, yay, boo, yay, boo. If the Jets were able to just string the last couple games together, say the last 4, you don't lose to Philadelphia way back in there because they were a junk team. Can't believe you lost that. You don't lose to Chicago. They were a junk team. And all of a sudden, Winnipeg's back in the playoff picture. It's that simple. They've had plenty of opportunities all year, and they've been goalied all year. Well, you only get goalied for so long. After a while, it starts becoming a scoring problem, and it's a problem on you, not a matter of the other team's goalie. But Winnipeg seems to be figuring it out. And Winnipeg goes as 55 and 26 go. I said it at the beginning of the year. PLD and Kyle Connor are scoring at an amazing clip. This is when we are winning, by the way. They cannot hold the entire fort down alone. 26 and 55 are going to have to show up. They didn't show up for quite a long period of time. I know Wheeler was injured there. It was a really rough year for 55. And now all of a sudden that 26 and 55 are showing up, the Jets are finding ways to win in their division at a very high clip. But the problem is it's a little bit too late to win at the clip they're winning. It has to go even higher. That's what makes this so difficult, is that even though they have taken down some of the best teams in their division, they're playing some of the best hockey they've played in a while, there's still only 4-4-2 in their last 10, and that is not good enough to get it done. So the Jets' next few games, they have the Kraken, the Flames, and the Oilers. They're going to have to take all 3. They need to get back on a winning streak. The Kraken should be a gimme, but there's no gimme for the Winnipeg Jets. They lose to some of the worst teams in the NHL. We're high right now, but when the Jets put together 4 or 5, I'll start flipping my tune when it comes to, can they actually do this? Can they actually get in? They absolutely must beat Edmonton. They're chasing Edmonton in the playoffs. Edmonton's been one of the hottest teams since Evander Kane got over there. Go figure, Winnipeg fans. If you didn't know that, they signed Evander Kane, and the Oilers, it turned out that fixed all their problems. It wasn't a goalie. It was Evander Kane who was the missing piece. Oy, oy, oy. But the Oilers are hot again. We're chasing the Oilers. We need to beat them. And the Calgary Flames are one of the best teams in the NHL. If you've been living under a rock, they're a top 5 team right now in terms of overall analytics, and they're likely the second best team in the Western Conference, maybe behind the Colorado Avalanche. And I'm going to say they're number 2 right now, just in this little spurt. I still really like Minnesota. I still really like the Vegas Golden Knights. St. Louis has a claim to that. There's a lot of good teams, but Calgary has been quietly one of the most dangerous teams, and they have a top 5% chance to win the Stanley Cup right now by Stanley Cup betting odds. So, hey, this is where we're at. So Jets fans, great game tonight. Wild fans, You're having some trouble with the Jets, it seems to be. I know people are going to ask, talk about the hit on Andrew Copp. Look, NHL referees, they're a joke. Mark Schiefele gets slashed on a power play, but they're on the power play, so don't blow the whistle. Not complaining, Wild fans, because it happens just as equally back to you. Both these teams are kind of a goon squad. That's why I love them both. I mean, it's great old-time hockey to watch. But Andrew Copp gets clipped by Greenway, totally blindsided. But don't forget, Jets fans, there was a head hit last time we played the Wild that started the brawl for all out there. So this kind of goes both ways, but Greenway hits Copp from behind. It's a purely dirty hit. Like Wild fans, if you want to say that wasn't dirty, go ahead. It's fine. Leave the comments down below. Comment, whatever you comment helps spread this video. Every time you give a thumbs up helps spread the video. So go ahead, please do both. We would love to have that down there. So he clips Copp from behind. I hope Copp doesn't have a concussion from this. He has a concussion history. I mean, you touch him, he hits the boards, he could be concussed. You never know. I mean, he's got one of the worst track records in the NHL for it. So this was a cheap hit. It was a dirty hit. There was at least 3 times they could have called a penalty on that. I don't know why the refs do. They're just staring at it and there's no penalty. Maybe a player should just be allowed to go out there and slash a referee on the pads and say, hey man, it's just part of the game. I was just skating by you. You happen to be there. Whack. I know you're just trying to do your job and I know you're not an active player, but like, hey man, why not? It's ridiculous. That's the point I'm making. The point I just made is ridiculous. What the refs don't call is ridiculous. Just call a stick infractions for both teams. It's an absolute joke, but we're just going to be saying that every video. Jets fans, thanks for joining us here. Let's see if we can go ahead and string 2 together against the Kraken. We'll catch you for that game. It's been Coach Ryan D.